Good morning everyone. Hope you're all doing okay. Hope you all enjoyed your midterm. It's a bit rubbish weather, wasn't it? But at least there was no schooling, was there? Which was absolutely fantastic for us grown-ups as well as you guys, I think. It's just nice to have a bit of a chill and recharge the batteries. I don't know about you, but I didn't realise how tired I was until we had a couple of days off. Anyway, we're back now, and today I'm bringing you on a little journey. So I've brought you here today among all the trees. Now I've got to say I was more than slightly worried because when I started coming round here this morning, about half an hour ago, I couldn't even see in front of me, it was so foggy, but look there, you can just see the sun trying to poke out among the trees up there. Now, the forecast for the weekend's great, so it's going to be a good excuse for you to get out and about and see what's going on in nature, because there's lots of things budding up at the moment. We might see some further along. But the reason I've brought you among the trees is today we're going on a journey. I don't know if you know this, but this week is the second week in what's known as Fairtrade fortnight. Now Fairtrade is an organisation which tries to make sure that all the people that grow and farm all our foods and all the good crops actually get the money back for doing it, and it doesn't disappear down the line, but we'll talk more about that later. The trees that we'll be looking at today are the home of a chap we're going to meet called Pablo. Pablo is a banana. Now, I don't think we're going to see many bananas in these trees. What do you think? No. In fact, if I came across some bananas growing here, I think I might get a bit of a fright, to be honest. However, if you do see any bananas growing in trees when you're out and about, please send me a photo. The bananas that we are talking about today grow in really, really hot country in South America. So not much chance of finding them round about Langham, I don't think. But we are going to go on a journey with Pablo the banana. Comes further along, plenty of trees, loads and loads of trees. Still no bananas though. Hope you're having better luck than me. But I have found one thing. The sun! Yay, the sun's come out at long last. Fog's lifting, spirits are lifting. All I need to do now is find some bananas. We're going on a banana hunt. We're going on a banana hunt. I think if anyone can hear me right now, they might think I'm the one that's gone bananas. We're going on a banana hunt. We're going on a banana hunt. Right, coming to the end of the tree line now. I'm not fancying my chances much. Are you having any better luck than I am? Still no bananas, guys. But look what has been made out of this tree. I bet you come walks here a lot, do you? When I came by the other day, there was children playing here. It's glorious, isn't it? It's an old tree. And look how it's been made new by turned into an amazing sculpture. Still no bananas, but the sun's out now. It's starting to lift. Still quite frosty though and cold. But with the sun on it, that'll soon disappear. Hot and sunny is good for growing bananas, but I don't think frosty and sunny is quite the same thing. Somebody walking up over the hill over there. That's where I think our adventures will take us tomorrow on my banana hunt. Anyway, time to sign off now. And most of you guys, well, some of you will be heading off to school now. The lucky ones that have got to go back. For the rest of us, time to get home for the homeschooling. Speak to you again later. Look who I've met out on my travels. Say hello, Mum, as well.
Hi.
Look who I've met in my travels this morning.
Hi, Sunday Club.
Hi, Sunday Club. I've been out looking for bananas in the trees. So if you find any, you'll have to send me a picture.
We'll have a good look. But
You'll
I
need to have a really
can't
good
guarantee that, can we?
I couldn't see half the trees for the fog to start with, but we got there. I'll speak to you on Sunday. Nice to see you all. Bye just now.
Bye.
Bye.
I've got my handy helpers here and they're demonstrating to you pass the banana. Now, the trick you have to have, we're using Pablo, but you need to use a real banana at home, unless you've got some of the garden going bananas, that is. So get your grown-ups and get all your family sat in a big circle and pass the banana. Oh, they're doing quite... Oh, Katie.
That was Ross's fault.
If the banana touches the ground, you lose a point and you have to start again.
It was his fault.
Well, hello everyone. I'm back in and I was on my banana hunt. I didn't find very many banana trees, so maybe Molly will have had more luck than me with a bit of luck. But I did find somebody waiting for me. Here he is. It's Pablo the banana. He was here all along. Here was me searching for him high and low for miles. Pablo has been on an amazing adventure and he can't wait to tell us all about it. Will we just carry on with the story, Pablo, and you can tell us about what you've been up to, your epic adventure? Yeah? Pablo says, yeah, let's go. Pablo used to be an ordinary banana, just like all the other bananas that grow in this banana farm in a hot country far, far away. Pablo was happy being looked after by the banana farmers. He was watered every day, he was given special food to help him grow, and he was kept safe from nasty bugs. But one day he noticed the farmers didn't look very happy, and he asked Paloma the farmer why. We work very hard, Paloma told him. There are lots of bananas to look after, but we don't get enough money for our work. It means we can't buy things like medicine when we're sick or buy enough food to eat. It just makes me so sad. That's not fair, cried Pablo. He felt as sad as Paloma, and he knew he had to help the farmers. He didn't just want to be a banana, he wanted to be a super banana. I'm going to do something about this, said Pablo. Paloma smiled. Maybe you could do a super thing for us farmers. Tell the people who buy our bananas how hard we work. Tell them that we don't get enough money to buy the things we need. Tell them all of this, and maybe, just maybe, things will change. Pablo went back to his bunch of bananas and told them why all the farmers were so sad. We want to help too, they shouted. So the bananas hatched a daring plan and waited for the day they would be picked and taken across the world to be sold in shops. Soon that day arrived. They were picked and they were washed by the farmers. They were loaded onto a lorry and they were driven all the way to the sea. Then the lorry went on a ship and sailed for many days and many nights. A great big ship. After their exciting journey, they arrived at a seaport and were driven by the lorry to a great big supermarket. Pablo took a deep breath. Okay, fellow bananas, we have a super job to do. Are you ready? Yes, 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 shouted all the bananas. Pablo and his bunch of bananas got to work. They told the shopkeepers they wouldn't let anyone buy them until their farmers were given a fair amount of money for their hard work. They told everyone who came into the shop how sad the farmers were and how hard they worked, and how they would be happy again if they just got paid fairly. In the end, the shopkeepers decided to take action, and they made sure that the farmers were given a fair amount of money for the work they put in. This meant that Paloma's farm became a Fairtrade banana farm. Hooray! Yay! Whoopee! Cried all the bananas. Hurrah! Hooray! Shouted the banana farmers. Pablo and his bunch of bananas all received a Fairtrade sticker, and Pablo
became a famous super banana, making it his mission to help other banana farmers all across the world. One morning, while Pablo was waxing his yellow suit, he heard the postman arrive. It was a postcard from a happy, smiling Paloma. It simply said, "Thank you, Pablo the super banana and friends. Thank you." Wow, Pablo, that was some adventure. So remind us again, where do you come from? Colombia. And Colombia's in South America, right? Is that why you're sitting up at the windowsill in the sunshine, trying to stay nice and warm and cozy? Do you know what? It's nice and sunny out here today, but it's a bit chilly. He's sitting on top of the radiator in the windowsill enjoying the sunshine. So you had a really long journey to come to get here from Colombia, didn't you? Mm-hmm. First picture, can you remember? The first picture we saw of Pablo, he was growing on a tree with all the other bananas, weren't you, your banana pals? Did you notice what colour Pablo was when he was hanging on the tree? Was he yellow? He wasn't, was he? No, he was green. And he was green because growing bananas are green, not yellow. But usually by the time we get them in the shops, they've turned yellow. Sometimes some of them are still a bit green, aren't they? And so we have to let them ripen a bit longer. Paloma and many of the other farmers like her, they can't always afford a lot of food, and they have to survive on the rice and beans like we saw in the slide. These are good for you, but if that's all you're getting to eat all the time, and you can't afford fish or meat or other vegetables to eat, not much of a healthy diet, is it? No. Can you imagine just having that to eat all the time? And when I say all the time, sometimes they only eat one time a day. They don't even get to eat more than once a day. Pablo, you were horrified, weren't you, when you heard that was all Paloma and her family had to eat? I would have been too. And he was really sad as well. Imagine this family that were working so hard, not enough food to eat, not medicine to be, just not being able to take care of her family. It must be awful. So Pablo and the gang decided to do something about it, didn't they? So they stood up and they spoke out and they made people listen to what was happening. And once he stood up and spoke out, he became a super banana. And that's exactly what Jesus wants us to be like. He wants us to be like Pablo, to show people through you what it means to be like Jesus. We do that by being kind, by sticking up for other people, by being gentle, and for sticking to what's right and wrong, making the right decision, even when sometimes it's quite difficult and it's quite a tricky thing to do. Because it's not always easy to make the right decisions, is it, Pablo? No, it isn't. So, I want you to think of anything you can do to help. Anything little, anything massive. Anything you think you can do to help somebody else. I'm sure your grown-ups will be able to give you a lot of ideas on that one. Like Pablo, the super banana, you have the power to change the world every day when you support Fairtrade. Because when you choose products that have got the Fairtrade mark on them, you know that you're making a farmer's life better. That means they get what they deserve. They get to make their own decisions, they can afford to feed their families, afford to get medicines that they need, and they can control their futures. And basically, just lead a dignified life like everybody deserves to do. Does that sound like a plan, Pablo? There's a little activity next, and it's got some items that you could maybe, that might have the Fairtrade logo on if you have a look around your house. I bet you've probably already got some at home. Come on, guys. be a super banana. Why not make a thank you postcard for someone? I bet it puts a great big smile on their face. Or get a banana, get some chocolate, chop up your banana, melt your chocolate, stick your banana on a stick, dip it in the melted chocolate, and then dip it in some sprinkles for fun. Yum, yum, enjoy. Pablo here became a super banana when he decided to do the right thing and to stand up for people when things were wrong and he knew they were wrong. He was pretty brave, wasn't he? It's not always easy to stand up for somebody, is it? Or to stand up for the right thing. It can be really tricky if maybe when somebody's been left out of a friendship group and you know the right things to ask them to be involved, but then maybe you're a bit worried that the rest of them will not speak to you. Jesus just wants us to be more like Pablo, to show people him through you, through your actions, through your thoughts, through what you say. And we do that by being kind, being gentle, looking up for others, sticking up for people when you know things are right, making tricky decisions sometimes, doing what's right over what's wrong. And that can be hard when the wrong thing's the easiest thing sometimes to do. Just being strong enough and brave enough to make good decisions. Good decisions about you, good decisions about the food you eat, the stuff you drink, everything you put in your body, because we all want good, healthy bodies, don't we? The thoughts, what we watch, what we listen to, because we all want to have a good, clear, brilliant mind as well, don't we? Taking care of ourselves and taking care of our other people, like Jesus did, is more than anyone can ask. Be kind. Look after each other, and you could be a super banana like Pablo.